Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and today we're back working on the head. So as you saw previously, I went through and re-drilled out the water galleries, and I also went through and I matched the ports to the gaskets so that the manifolds will line up nicely and get a nice smooth flow in between. Now, as for my valves, these are my valves, and as you can see, when I took them out, I actually put them in a box and I numbered them all so that they're all exactly in the same spot where they came out, and they'll go back in the same so that I keep everything matched up. But as you may also see, they are pretty filthy. You can see that they're pretty filthy. So first job is to go around and clean them all up. Okay, so to clean the valves up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my valves, I'm going to tape up the stem so I don't damage it, and put it into my drill, and then running my drill onto a brass wire wheel on a grinder, on a bench grinder, and just take off all of this carbon build-up that's built up on here and tidy them up and get them nice and clean so that they can go back into the engine. Alright, so most of these valves cleaned up quite well. You can see here, here's an exhaust valve. You know, got rid of most of the carbon. There's a couple of little tiny nicks on it, whatever, but it's nothing too bad. It actually looks pretty decent. And yeah, most of them came out pretty good. But there are two exhaust valves only that I'm not as happy with. This one has got a lot of pitting on the face. You can see that there. There's a lot of pitting on that face. In the back edge, there's a bit, but this last one in particular is quite nasty. You can see that. That's got a lot of marking on it. Not great. And then on the back as well, lots of pitting, particularly on the back of this valve. It's really nasty. I'm going to head back down to the engine shop this week. Stevie's got a couple of other second-hand valves that might do the job better. Okay, slight delay in filming because, of course, I don't have an oil can, which would make things much easier for this. So I've just put oil into a cup, and this is the second cup of oil because, of course, I knocked the first one over, didn't I? I didn't get it on camera, but you can trust me there. I knock stuff over. Anyway, basically, to lap these valves, what I've done, I've got some grinding compound, which I'm going to put just a little bit. I'm just going to put a really light smear around the edge with my suction cap. I dip it in some oil and then put it into its spot. And now, apparently, I just I didn't want to go new valves. These valves are still good and serviceable besides that one I pointed out. So it's much cheaper and easier to just go with these if they're still serviceable and the seats are still serviceable, which looks like they actually look like they're in reasonable condition. So I'm going to keep flowing through here on all of these seats and yeah, see if I can tidy up these valves. Whew, it is getting hot in here. This is really slow and time-consuming work, but the inlet valves 1 to 5 are done, and I got to number 6, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see it here. If I can get the camera to focus. You can sort of see that it's clean on that side, then you come around here and see how it still hasn't cleaned up. That tells me that this must be slightly bent or something. Yeah, that's not going to cut it, so I'm going to sit that valve aside and again, see if I can get a replacement valve for that. So, one down. So, well, the rest of them are really good. So, yeah, the first 5 inlets are good. I'm going to go through and do all the exhaust valves now and see how they are. Okay, so you've seen me working at this for a few hours now. Yes, it has been several hours of work getting to here. It is really slow and tedious, and what I'm thinking is, what I've actually done is I've actually taken one of the suction caps off of the off of one of the wooden dowels, and I've stuck it onto just my little 1/4-inch drive socket head on my drill, and I'm going to have a go like that. I know a lot of people suggest not to do that because it goes a bit far, but some of these I'm looking at going, well, if it doesn't work like this, then it's not going to work, and then I have to replace them anyway. So I may as well give it a go and see if that will sort it out. So we'll just have a quick go and see if it does anything, if it works the way I want it to. If it does, great. If it doesn't, I'll stop it there, and yeah, we'll do something else. Alright, that worked quite well. So there's at least 2 valves here that I have to replace. There's that 1 inlet valve, which I just put it in again to just sort of play it in this, and you can actually see it wobble. So you can see that the valve is bent. So that valve needs to be replaced, and at least one of the exhaust valves. But I'll see if I can get just some used valves that are spare out of another engine somewhere and lap them and make them fit. But for now, the next thing I want to do is try to CC these heads. Basically, what I mean by that is measuring the volume of the combustion chambers, and then I can have some idea on working out the actual compression of what this engine will be. So first things first, I need to cut out a piece of Perspex that I bought recently, and I need to cut it into a manageable piece. What I've done here is I've got a piece of Perspex that I've drilled a few holes in, and what I do is I'm going to sit it over the top of each cylinder head, and I went down to my local chemist and just bought a syringe. I know you can buy barrettes, and which is like a really long tube with graduations in it. You can actually sort of measure out how much you put in. This is the budget version. This cost me $1 from the chemist. Because the volume of these cylinder heads are not going to be a lot, I think this is going to be a good way to go. Cheap, easy, piece of Perspex with some holes in it, and yeah. So the first step is to put in the valves and put in a spark plug. I bought a spark plug that's not going to be the final one. I don't know what the heat rating is or the brand or anything. I just bought a spark plug for this engine to plug the hole, and we'll put some grease around the edges of everything and then start measuring in the liquid and see what volume these heads are. that was not difficult, just time consuming and just taking my time with the syringe, you know, making sure I get the exact same amount in each cylinder each time. Every cylinder head is basically around 53.5 millilitres, give or take between 53.3 and 53.7, and more of that could be due to how I measured it out rather than anything else. I think they're close enough for me to be quite happy. So now I have to go back and sit down and try and work out what that means as far as compression goes. Because, yeah, there's some calculations to do and I've got to go and research how to do those calculations. Okay, so I've gone away and I've done my calculations to work out the compression ratio of what this engine will be. And from what I gathered, basically you need to work out what the volume of the engine is. So this is an L28. The volume is 2,753.37 cc's. So divide that by 6 to get one cylinder. And then that cylinder volume is 459 cc's per cylinder. And that 459 cc's per cylinder, divide that by the volume of the head, which is 53.5 cc's. And that gives you the compression ratio of 8.57 to 1. So I know that my rough calculation there's things that you need to take into account. Thickness of the head gasket can make a difference. The shape of the pistons. Thankfully my pistons are flat top pistons, so I don't have to worry about a dome piston or a curved piston. Either way, it was good to go through and learn how that works. I've never tried anything like that before, and it was good. It was educational, and yeah, I got a fair bit of the valve lapping done. There's at least 2 valves I want to replace, possibly 3. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research and see if I can get some and see if I can swap them over. We'll play that by ear. But anyway, that's taken me all day to do that. So that means it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hey guys. In 1969, Nissan unveiled the brand new 240Z in North America. Now, Bob Sharp saw the car at the New York Motor Show and he fell in love with it. He contacted Nissan to get one to race, but he was told there were none available. Soon after though, at the Toronto Motor Show, an overzealous model sat on the roof of the Z and accidentally dented it. Bob was told he had to get over there quickly and get it before the Nissan executives changed their minds. And this was the beginning of the racing legacy of the Z car in North America.
Alright, that was interesting today, learning how to CC heads and stuff. I've never done that before, and yeah, it was quite good. So I've got to get myself a couple of new valves, and we're getting there. I'm getting close to being able to reassemble this head and assemble the whole engine, which would be great, because I've never done that before, so it's an interesting challenge I want to sink my teeth into. Anyway, that's it for another week, so as always, please head down to the description, help the channel out, and buy some of our cool shirts, hoodies, or coffee mugs. And please like and subscribe to Home It by Jeff, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at the same place. See you guys.
Face while you're doing that, and
No, I like what you do.
no, it's not. I'm asking you to praise me. Self-esteem. Now, Bob's short. Thanks. Yeah. I think that's process. Overzealous model sat on the bonnet. See, praise is nice.